Efforts in Haiti have barely begun, a full 15 months after the disaster. By some estimates, less than 5% of the rubble has been cleared, and only 15% of the temporary housing that's needed has been built. Less than 10% of the $9 billion pledged by foreign donors has been delivered. More than 1 million people remain homeless, still living in the makeshift shelters and hundreds of tent camps around the country. Just before we went to the Haitian police station, we visited one of these refugee camps, and Democracy Now!'s Sharif Abdel Kouddous filed this report.
We're heading right now to a camp, one of many tent camps in Port-au-Prince and across Haiti that have sprung up since this earthquake struck. Many people in these camps are now facing eviction, and we're going to one of these camps that is of imminent threat of eviction by landowners. We're joined by Gina Shaw, who's with the Bureau des Avocats Internationaux, which is the Office of International Lawyers. They've been dealing very closely with this issue. Gina, where are we going right now? Describe the camp.
We're going to Camp Babancorde. It is a camp that sits on property that a landowner who owns one of the big warehouses in Port-au-Prince claims to own. And it's a small camp of 325 families that's been facing violent threats of eviction since last April.
And why are they being evicted?
They're being evicted because the person purporting to own the land is saying that he needs to use that part of the land to build another factory for a Chinese company that he has a contract with. They are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They have nowhere else to go. They do not want to be living in these camps, and they have to fight tooth and nail to stay in horrible conditions because they have absolutely nowhere else to go.
Right opposite this tent camp is a massive building that says Food for the Poor. And with us here is Laura Raymond, who is with the Center for Constitutional Rights, working for a few days in Haiti. Laura, tell us, what is this building that's across the street here?
Food for the Poor is a Christian charity that, as you can see, it's really hovering above the tent camp across the street. And the tent camp told us that they actually have written letters saying that they are, hungry and poor, and they need the food from Food for the Poor. And Food for the Poor has not responded to the letters. So we actually went into Food for the Poor a couple days ago because the camp committee had asked us to, try to intervene and get something, because there's actually besides water, there's no services being provided to this camp. And the director of distribution basically said, we don't do distribution out of here, and they actually said that it would just be a mob scene if they tried to bring food out here, which is ridiculous because, as you all see, the people at this camp are, incredibly polite people. They're organized. All they need really is the food, and they can distribute it themselves.
We're entering the camp right now. This is Babancorde. As you can see, most of these tents are made up of just tarps that have been donated and put together in a haphazard way, with cinder blocks, with sticks, with poles. There's no running water. There's no sewage system. This is a difficult way to live. We're standing here with one of the camp residents. Could you tell us your name, how long you've been living here, and describe the situation around you?
My name is Mr. Paul.
I come from the north, Saint-Michel de la Talaye, and I live in Delmas 31. I came to the camp with all the people here on January 12th. The situation is not good at all for us. The international community, the national community, they've never said anything on our behalf from this camp here. Look at the kids here, the children. None of them goes to school. The parents just can't afford it.
And now you face eviction?
Yes, we've been asked to be evicted. They've put construction materials here because they say they're going to start with their factory here.
If you are evicted, where would you go?
We have nowhere else to go.
What do you want people who are watching this to understand?
People who are watching me, I'd like them to if some of them can intervene on our behalf, please do it. Because I speak on behalf of the nation. All of them are insisting that things are really hard for them.
Continue to talk to residents around the camp. Here's an elderly woman who's been living here for the past 14 months. Tell us your name and describe what it's like to live here.
Lisana Fenelon. I've lived here since January 12th, the earthquake, and we're not good at all. We don't sleep well. We sleep under pressure, and life is so sour. We're not fed well. We just don't have a life. Sometimes I have rash all over. I know if it's because of the hygiene conditions I'm living in.
What's it like for your younger children to have lived here for so long?
They suffer a lot sometimes. There's nothing we can do here. We have no jobs. Sometimes if our neighbors cook, they can give us some food, give me some food so I can give to them. Otherwise, I have no means to take care of them. I was a sewer. I used to sew. But after the earthquake that destroyed everything I had, including my sewing machine, I've never been able to replace it.
What did you think of the return of Aristide?
We love Aristide. We love his return. If Aristide was here, he would visit us. We would not be that hungry. Other countries have offered to give us food, but Preval has stopped that. Yeah, he doesn't want us to get fed. If it was Aristide, if he was Aristide, Aristide would be begging for us. He would be asking food to other countries for us. Preval is just facilitating the situation to the elite, to the bourgeois that are making money on our head.
Just on the outskirts of the camp is what looks like a garbage dump with fetid water that doesn't smell very good, and it's on the outskirts of the camp. Gina, describe to us what this is here.
This is a cesspool that was created when the neighbor built a wall around here because the drainage was going across his land and he didn't want that to be on his land anymore, so he built a wall, and that created this cesspool here that when there are heavy rains, the water comes all the way up to the tents. It actually started flooding several tents that they had to pick up and move away from it. And because of the water and the trash and the sewage that's collected here, it's caused a lot of diseases in the camp. There have been children who have contracted malaria, and they've suffered from skin rashes.
Okay, so he wants to show us how the water comes up right to the tents where people live, and we're going to go take a look.
So the water, it can't go anywhere because this wall is here. It ends up just staying here.
The water here used to drain past this wall, but once they built this wall, it builds up here. Over here we can see the very green, kind of swampy water, and just hundreds, thousands of mosquitoes are breeding here and hovering above the water. The stench here is very strong, and you can see already the water has reached the tents. When there are heavy rains, the water comes up even closer to many of the tents here. And this is where people have lived for over a year now. We're going to see if we can take a look inside one of these tents here.
We're walking now to Paul's tent. Paul came to this camp after the earthquake. Before the earthquake, he used to teach French, Creole, and chemistry in school, and he was working on teaching physics as well. But the earthquake destroyed the school that he worked in, and since then he hasn't been able to find another job. So he's explaining that the water comes all the way over here, and it threatens the tents in this area as well.
We're walking into Paul's house right now to take a look. And as you can see, it's quite cramped and pretty dark and quite hot. Also, there's a very, very young baby who's sleeping here. They have a a mosquito net over her. And how old is she? À quel âge?
3 mois.
She's 3 months old. Who do you think is responsible for the situation here?
Bon, c'est président ou bien président qui vient pour venir.
The president or the president that will be elected should take responsibility.
Okay. C'est lui-même qui va prendre la situation ça en main pour les tirer moun ça en bas tot.
Yeah.
Tot la fait nous noirs puis gens parce que nous noirs et tot la fait nous plus noirs parce que
It's only the president that can get us out of these tents.
Matériaux, mettez matériaux sur terre. Et dit semaine n'a pas passé. Semaine n'a pas passé pour nous pas dire nous même nous parfois nous pas rien corps nous chaud nous avons un côté pour nous aller.
Each day they come by and they drop off more construction materials and they say the week that's coming you're going to have to leave. They keep giving us these threats, but we don't have any money, we don't have any place to go. Because I used to be a teacher and I don't have that job anymore, I don't have any other means of working, so I have no way of getting money. I'm unemployed and I spend all day just sitting here in the camp. Under Aristide, I was able to work well. And because of that, I put welcome home, Aristide.
We're walking outside of the camp right now. So you can see right next to the camp there's many large construction beams and a lot of construction sand that's been dumped here right on the outskirts of the camp, right next to the first row of tents. And this is how they're trying to force the residents out, saying they want to build a factory here.
Since last April, the purported landowner has come to the camp at least twice with armed policemen and special units of the police to threaten people to leave the camp. The police themselves directly told the residents, we know we have no authority to kick you out, but the landowner has paid us to come here to intimidate you.
Is this common in other camps?
This is common. We've seen this in several other camps where purported landowners either hire the police or hire the other agencies in the government to come with bulldozers to crush tents, or they've just hired private thugs.
Our concern is that the people in the camp continually try to get the government of Haiti involved. The government of Haiti has a human rights obligation, and under international law and Haitian law has an obligation to protect the rights of the people in the camp here and respond to the needs of the people in the camp. You know, the Ministry of Interior is supposed to be responsible for the camps, and so the people here in this camp have continually reached out to the ministries. The Haitian ministry is responsible to try to get them to come, to try to get them to help drain the cesspool that is in the back of the camp where people are getting sick and getting bitten with all kinds of bugs from the cesspool, and also to intervene in this imminent eviction, and the government is being non-responsive. And so it's an enormous problem throughout the camps here that the government needs to address, and they need to put a moratorium on evictions until, you know, a full resettlement plan is put into practice.
This is Barbancourt, a camp that's facing eviction. Many hundreds of camps in Haiti are like it, thousands across the country. There's more than 1.3 million who remain homeless since the earthquake. And now, camps like this one, 325 families living in it, are about to lose even the very little that they still have. For Democracy Now!, I'm Sharif Abdel Kouddous with Hani Masoud in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.